Hi everyone, we are Group I and I'm Eunice. What I'm going to talk about today is compare and contrast PET and VR in education. This is our contents. Introduction, main point 1 to 3, conclusion, QA, and work cited. The reason why we choose the PET for the new technology in education is because we use the PET for most of our classes. When we are in class, we take notes on the pad and we can also study, surf on the internet and learn from it. Now it is the most common way to learn. The reason why we choose VR is because it is the newest way to learn. In some schools, they support their students using VR for immersive learning. This method can make us not only happy to learn but also efficient. It will be the future trend for study. So we are going to compare and contrast the 3 points, the way to use learning effectiveness and visual sensations to know the similarity and difference between PET and VR.
Hello, I am Emerald. Now I'm gonna talk about the way to use pads and VR devices. First, let's focus on the similarities between them. Different from books that we use to read and learn, both pads and VR don't need papers. They can show a lot of knowledge in just a machine and don't have to carry a bunch of books which are really heavy. By the way, producing books and papers also costs a lot. It may need different kinds of resource and bring pollution to our environment. It's not eco-friendly, while it will be more sustainable by learning with 3C products. Well, let's move on to the next page. I'm gonna talk about the difference. Obviously, we can see the picture on the left. The boy is learning by a pad. Pad can only show the information with the flat screen, such as 2D pictures and paragraphs. However, VR devices can do more. It employs 3D near eye displays and pulse tracking to make us immersive feel of virtual world. It's not only flat. Eventually, I'm gonna talk about the example. Let's take a look at the picture on the left. The girl is trying to practicing how to perform operation with on VR devices. It's not the normal way we used to conduct a clinical experiment. We spend a lot on preparing materials for surgery practicing, like masks, gloves, tools, and bodies. Now we got VR. Through VR, we are able to save the preparation but still got the same level of experiment. The Harvard Business Review also shows that receiving VR training can increase the efficiency of surgery by 230%.
Hi, I'm Alice, and I am going to tell you about the similarities and differences between VR and PET in the aspect of learning effectiveness. Research from the Center of Advanced Stimulation and Education shows that video games in technology devices can make a positive effect on learning. Also, using different devices, such as VR and PET, brings different learning effectiveness. Researchers analyze pre-test and pro-test scores after participants complete introductive games. They suggest that both VR and tablet can bring positive learning effects. However, VR brings more learning effectiveness than tablet. The reason why VR brings more effectiveness than PET is based on social learning theory, proposed by a psychologist named Bendra. He suggests that individuals learn from each other through observing and imitating others' behaviors, eventually demonstrate new behaviors. So back to the title, why VR brings more learning effectiveness. It's because virtual reality provides maximum chances of observation, imitation, and demonstration, which leads to better learning results.
I'm Billy. The third point is about visual sensation. As we know, both pads and VR devices can bring us great visual sensations. And what are the differences between pads and VR devices? Pads presents an actual image. You don't have to wear any glasses or any portable device to see what it presents. It just directly shows on the screen. While VR devices shows a virtual vision. You need to wear a specific VR glasses or a VR portable device to see the virtual vision. For example, surgery courses for doctors. Now we have two types of these courses. The old one is watching traditional instructional video lectures, and the new one is the VR training programs. With the VR simulated training programs for surgeries, the doctors can actually operate a simulated surgery on their own in the virtual world, rather than just only watching the videos on pads or monitors. This way, doctors and surgeons can improve their medical skills well by practicing with the VR programs.
In conclusion, both PET and VR are eco-friendly and bring us positive effects. The PET is 2D presents actual images, and VR is 3D presents virtual vision. So VR is more impressive and brings more positive learning effectiveness. When VR becomes more common, maybe we can use VR to learn in efficient ways and enhance our lives. This is our work cited, and thank you for your listening.